I'm Adam and welcome to the garden. In our video today, we're going to look at pruning techniques to get our plants ready for the new growing season. Learning how to prune properly is an essential skill in the garden, and pruning simply is reducing growth around a plant or dead branches or stems to encourage fresh, healthy and vigorous growth in the new growing season. There are many different tools we can use around the garden to prune, and my favourite and the most commonly used are the pruning shears. These help us cut more stems, but if the stems are thicker, we can use the loppers, which have a bigger blade. We can also use shears. Shears will cut hedgerows and soft vegetation and shorter plants as well. If we have tall trees in the garden that we can't reach, then using a telescopic tree saw can help us with that. When pruning the stem, it's important that we cut it on a 45-degree angle. So when it rains or the weather gets wetter, that the tip doesn't collect water, rot or become diseased. So we cut it on a 45-degree angle just like this. After using our pruning scissors, it's a good idea just to disinfect them before using them on another plant so that we don't transfer diseases from one plant to another. Autumn is a great time to start thinking about pruning your plants, and if you've got some herbaceous perennials in the garden that have flowered in the summer months, any time from now onwards until early spring is a fantastic time to start pruning. But if you have fruit trees or deciduous trees that are still in leaf, you're best waiting just until the beginning of winter into midwinter before you start considering pruning them. One of the main reasons we prune is to allow air to circulate around the plant, this preventing disease build-up and as well allowing new growth. As you can see with this rose bush here, this stem is crossing over this stem and therefore it's quite densely packed, and we run the risk of them rubbing against each other and blocking the sunlight from the bottom branches themselves. The best time to prune roses is after the first frost, otherwise we run the risk that the plant will create new growth, that then being affected by the frost and putting the plant under stress. There aren't rules in general about how we should prune our roses, it's more of a matter of taste. For example, if we'd like our plants to be large plants, then we can leave them grow, but for me in this border I'd like to keep them contained and rather small. Therefore I'm removing a third of the plant and any damaged leaves or stems, as well as any stems that cross each other. One golden rule with pruning is not to be afraid to cut back hard to stimulate new growth. Now with perennials like this buddleia bush that I have here, if I cut this right back down to the bottom in the spring, I will have a plethora of new shoots coming up, creating plenty of flowers in the new growing season. So don't be afraid to really cut them back hard. And here we have it. I've completely cut this back hard. And I know it might look a bit brutal, but as you can see from these little shoots here, it will be full of new growth and stems in the new season. Well, we've learned the basic principles of pruning, and remember, don't be afraid to give it a go yourselves and prune those plants in your garden, because pruning is vitally important for every garden. If you've got any comments or questions regarding this video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment under the video. Tan y tro nesa, hwyl am y tro.